Part 3, Chapter 1 of George Orwell's 1984, marks the beginning of Winston Smith's final descent into the full force of the party's control. This chapter serves as the transition into the depths of the Ministry of Love, the feared place reserved for those who dare to defy the party's doctrines. It's here that Winston's physical and psychological isolation becomes palpable, as he's placed in a windowless cell under the constant surveillance of a telescreen. The sense of despair and the loss of freedom are immediately evident. In the cell, Winston encounters a variety of characters that serve to illustrate the indiscriminate nature of the party's suspicion and the wide net it casts to maintain control. Each character's presence in the cell highlights different aspects of the party's tyranny and the insidious ways it infiltrates citizens' lives. The drunk woman, who might be Winston's mother, symbolizes the destruction of family bonds under the regime. Ampleforth, the poet and Winston's co-worker, represents the suppression of artistic expression and thought. His crime was to allow the word God to remain in a poem because no other word would fit the rhyme scheme. This demonstrates the extreme lengths to which the party goes to erase any concept that might challenge its absolute authority, even something as seemingly benign as a word in a poem. Parsons, Winston's neighbor and a fervent party supporter, symbolizes the complete indoctrination of the citizens and the self-policing that the party encourages. His appearance is particularly shocking to Winston, as Parsons was the embodiment of a loyal party member. Parsons' imprisonment, based on his own daughter's accusation, further showcases the total erosion of private spheres and the breakdown of trust within the family unit, a recurring theme in the novel. Winston's reflections on Julia during his imprisonment bring to light the internal struggle he faces between intellectual commitment and emotional detachment. Despite his proclaimed willingness to suffer for Julia, there's an underlying recognition of his own vulnerability and the limits of his emotional resilience. This foreshadows the eventual disintegration of Winston's resistance under the party's relentless pressure and manipulation. O'Brien's appearance and subsequent revelation as a party loyalist is a pivotal moment. It shatters Winston's last bastion of hope that there is a secret resistance within the party. O'Brien, once thought to be an ally, symbolizes the absolute futility of rebellion against the party's omnipotence. His betrayal underscores the central theme of the novel: the devastating power of totalitarianism to crush individual thought and resistance. Part 3, Chapter 1, importantly sets the stage for Winston's torturous re-education process. It marks the transition from the physical reality of oppression and imprisonment to the psychological manipulation and deconstruction of the self that Winston will experience. It is here that the true horror of the Ministry of Love begins to unfold, laying bare the destructive power of the party to reshape reality, history, and the human spirit itself. So, that's our Bookly crash course for today. Make sure to check out our full chapter-by-chapter playlist on the Bookly Crash Course channel.